Hey there, family. Terrence Massey again, coming right back at you. Earlier today, we were talking about this guy, Boyce Watkins. Hey there, family. Terrence Massey again, coming right back at you. All right. So we were talking about this guy, Boyce Watkins, right? And Boyce Watkins, really did a live, right, saying that this is why he think he was kicked off of the UCLA campus. This is him at the airport, just grabbing his bags or something like that, and he was kicked off of the UCLA campus, or not necessarily the campus, but he was uninvited to an event that UCLA asked him to speak at by the alumni. So now he's upset. That's right. He's upset with his masters. His master said, no, boys, this is a no-go. And so, no. But what did his masters do? His masters used him in the meantime. What I'm explaining to you, family, is this. You have people that are like Boyce Watkins. He's out here in the world. And what he's doing is he's pimping you so that he can grow inside of the white establishment. But he only wants to grow inside of the white establishment how he wants to grow. Meaning this. I want to be able to call you a cracker-ass cracker all the way to the top. And your cracker-ass cracker world. That's what I want to be able to do. And white people are telling him, listen, nigga, no. We don't want your views and your opinions. And so when they say that to Boyce, he comes back to you. Oh, black people, these old racist white establishments, they won't have us. No, they don't want to do nothing with us, you know. They ain't had no black person come around here in 100 years. So now when I come around them, they're not going to let me say what I want to say. I can't use my thoughts and my opinions, and I can't express myself. This is what Boyce would like for you to believe. Black people, these white people are out here doing things. White people are in a mode of what you call hyper productivity. Let me explain something to you. And this is not going to be a long live. Just want to explain this to you. White people, they're in a mode of being so productive, in fact, to whereas even when they're going to drink alcohol, they're talking business. Alcohol is supposed to relax you, but they're still talking business. Hey, let's have some drinks. Yeah, and we can talk about what we're going to do tomorrow. But no, this parasite here, he's actually pissed. And if you listen to the entire interview, you kind of have to weed through what he's saying. Because he's very good. He's been trained very well by white people at these universities. So, yes. He's going to sound awesome. Umar Johnson sounds awesome. Tariq Nasheed sounds awesome. Tommy Sotomayor sounds awesome. Louis Farrakhan sounds awesome. Steve Harvey sounds awesome. But what are they actually producing for you besides their lip service? And black males, you should actually be pissed when you see these type of guys coming. Because they are the reasons why your women don't respect you. Because as a black man, you only got, it's nothing but all talk. And that's what they say we got. Black males ain't nothing but all talk. And so what you should do is believe half of what you see and none of what you hear. Do not listen to him at all. And from his mouth, listen.
It's a big issue. All the Negroes on TV gonna be talking about immigration, you know, and so to me, I kind of feel like black people, we don't have sovereignty in our conversations. And the truth of the matter, though, here's the reality, though: you can't really have an honest, authentic black conversation in a white institution anyway. A place like a UCLA or University of Texas or whatever the hell it happens to be, that's never gonna be a place where black people are ever gonna really get together and plan the revolution. Massa will never let you write your own ticket when he bought the motherfucking paper that you're writing the ticket on. He ain't gonna let you do that shit. So ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not offended that I was uninvited. I'm offended that I was invited in the first place and that you used my platform to promote your event and to sell it out. That's what offends me. That's why we're going to have to sue. But at the end of the day, I don't care about being uninvited. That's a badge of honor. If I fit too much into the establishment, if the white establishment, the white supremacist, racist universities like UCLA were to say, we love Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's great, then that would mean I'm not doing my job. Because the way you treat black people at that campus is atrocious. You only let black people on your campus most of the time if they can dribble a basketball or throw a fucking football or rap. Notice that the other two people black people they brought in for important social commentary were a rapper and a basketball player, right? like we milked Kareem for 4 years and made millions of dollars off of him. He's one of our prize Negroes. And Common, he's a rapper, and Common is a good dude, smart dude, but he's not going to say anything that's going to rattle the establishment. Common is an establishment type of guy. That's why he's in all the movies. That's why he's doing well. And I have no hatred toward Common whatsoever, but Common is not the guy that's really going to build strength in the black community. There's pride, there's symbolisms, like, okay, Negroes in a movie, that's great. Angela Rye's girlfriend, you know, she's on CNN, that's really cool. But I really think that the true strength in the community is going to come from people that are really talking about true black ownership. And ownership means pursuing black power in a way that you know is going to be highly offensive to white folks who run these damn institutions. I don't want to get UCLA to like me. I want to piss them off. I want black folks to be so powerful that they are offended, that they are stunned, that we will walk right past them and not give a shit what they think about us. I don't care what they think. I don't, you know. So what I would just say is that this is what's on my mind. I'm just kind of being honest with you guys about it. I'm not, you know, I don't really know what else to say about it. I can just say that it was just a dumb situation to begin with, and it's kind of like that's what I get. Like I kind of did this event, you know, like I was asked to do it, and I was like, well, I don't think these universities like me very much. And it's kind of like with Farrakhan. Like Farrakhan doesn't get invited to a lot of these institutions either, and I think that really says a lot about the merits of what Farrakhan is doing for the black community. If you're really doing something real, then they're not going to really embrace you like that. They only embrace you if you make them comfortable, or if you are saying the things that they want to hear. Because what typically happens is that the black activists that sort of get invited onto these white campuses are typically like white liberals. They're just like white liberals. They speak on the same talking points. They reinforce those same ideas, but they just have put a black face on it. So what it does is it adds to their political base. But if you really pay close attention to what they're saying at the end of the day, all they're really saying to black people is, if you want to do better, just go vote for Hillary. Everybody show up and vote for Hillary, because that's our only chance. That's our only hope. Everybody show up and vote for Hillary. So most of the so-called black activists that you see on TV, a lot of them, some of them are surrogates for the Democratic Party. Some of them are just people that unfortunately have never known real power. You know, they've never known what it's like to really own anything. So when they hear somebody like me come along and saying the things that I say, it's probably kind of scary for them, because they kind of feel like, well, you're going to mess everything up. You know, for us, you messing it up with Massa. Like, I got a good relationship with UCLA. Like, why would you come and offend them? Like, they got good money. They take care of us. And the thing is that we don't need anybody to take care of us. Like, I swear to you, black people, every speaking engagement I have done that I can recall, except maybe a few, like every now and then, some campus might call me to come speak or whatever, but most speaking engagements that I do are funded by us and funded by black people. That makes me very, very proud. And also, it's like, once you get that freedom and you know what it's like to speak without a filter, you know what it's like to speak without worrying about what the white people in the room are going to think, you know what it's like to speak without, you know, worrying about some institution coming down on your head. Once you get that kind of freedom, you kind of become unfit for slavery.
Now, he has said a mouthful. Boyce Watkins has said a mouthful here. So if you back it up a little bit, let's back it up a little bit.
If you're black, there is no freedom of thought. There is no freedom. Oh, and so, long story short, I consider, being uninvited or disinvited. It's kind of like that LeVar Ball stuff. Bring the white Jesus with me.
All right. So in analyzing this video here, what you would see is Boyce Watkins, he's going through a lot because he's just been uninvited to UCLA. And in this live that he does, he goes and he explains how he invited thousands of people because he reaches millions of black people, and how the event was free before he started promoting it to black folks, and then they started charging $100 a ticket, and that they had to change the venue, and now he's going to get his lawyers involved. This is what we're dealing with. And yes, he's saying, well, we're unapologetically black and we want to piss off these institutions. And he wasn't saying that right when you was being invited.
Is that, Lord, I got it in my... people are not accustomed to black people being truly sovereign and independent.
Black people are not truly sovereign and independent. You cannot be truly sovereign and independent in a sovereign country. And you will not be independent because white people are in this country and we live here with them. That's the reality of it. But he's telling you these things to keep you from doing what you should be doing the most. Planning for yourselves, for your future.
It's kind of like that LeVar Ball stuff, I don't mesh 100% with LeVar Ball's approach to everything and personality-wise, but I think just that idea of a black man being sovereign and not feeling that he's got to tiptoe around white people, I don't think white people are used to that, and I think a lot of black people get very nervous about that. I think that they kind of get, if you made your living by being a foot shuffling Negro who got into the good graces of a racist institution like UCLA, then I'm probably going to say something to offend you.
Now, this is a slap in the face to everyone who goes out and works every single day at a white institution. You know why? Because you work hard for your money. You're supporting him. You help him. There's not one product that I know of that he sells to white people. So absent black people, so if he's not on the plantation and he's not getting money from you, he wouldn't survive. And now he's pissed with his masters because he couldn't go out in front of the black people that he invited to sell them something else. His mouth. Because that's all he got. It's his mouth.
Because you're accustomed to only being invited into that space as a black man if you are speaking on the right talking points, if you are saying what they want you to say, if you are saying it in the way they want you to say it, if you're speaking on the issues they want you to address, if you are politically correct in the context that they allow you to be.
In which he's doing exactly what white supremacists want you to do. Spend your money. They don't care what he's talking about. They just want you to spend your money. By the way, if you guys are watching the live, please hit the subscribe button. You can hit the like button up or down. Let me know what it is that I'm doing wrong. Put some comments in the area, in the comment section below. Hey, give me a call. Call in. All right, the number's right there at the bottom of your screen. I'll be waiting for your call.
And so, long story short, I consider, being uninvited or disinvited from the event to be like an honor, actually. It kind of lets me know I'm doing my job properly. you know, I wasn't so offended by much of it. The only thing that offended me, I would say, is that they wasted our fucking time. You know, it's like, well, don't act like you want me to come and get me to come and then punk out at the end. Like, don't make the invitation in the first place, you idiot. Like, just keep it to your damn self. Like, why would you invite me, have me fly all the way across the country to come speak to your school? Here's the other thing, too. This is what's going to bring the lawyers in all this. Y'all motherfuckers use my platform. I reach 5 million black people a week. You use my platform to promote your event. We promoted it so well that literally before the tickets were free, check it out. Before in the beginning, according to my manager, the tickets were free. And then suddenly the tickets are $100 a piece. And suddenly they sold so many tickets that, from what I understand, that they literally had to get a bigger venue. Because we promoted the shit. We promoted it to hundreds of thousands of people. That's what happens. So now you've used my platform to promote your event that nobody was coming to, and now you want to disinvite me. Well, now that kind of sucks for everybody, because now I got to call my lawyer and be like, okay, we need to get our money back. Like, you know, you can't do that. You know, so I think that's the part that probably ends up irritating me the most. So I'm not really, my feelings ain't hurt. I ain't never been upset because Massa don't want me around. Me and Massa ain't got along for a long time.
Sounds like he's pretty pissed to me. I want my money back. You can't have me fly all across the country. You can't have me go have all these people come here and do all of this promotion for you, Massa. And now I want my money back. Oh no, me and you and all of these other white racist institutions. Oh no, Family. This is what he's selling you. See, it's harder to keep up a lie because every now and again you're going to let the truth slip out. See, you got to remember the lie. And it's kind of ingrained in us black men and us black people because we've been feeling the pressure all of our lives. Derek, thanks for showing up, my man. Thank you for showing up. And that's right. He got played. Period. And now he's pissed with his masters. Hey, Derek, my man, thanks for showing up. You got the number, man. Why don't you give me a call? Call in. I'm sitting right here. You know, we put you on live and we want to hear what you got to say. But that's right. Bottom line, he got played. And that's the truth. And so now what he's trying to do, which is a good PR move, is to jump out in front of Master. You know. Hey, this is what, you know, let's hurry up and get out in front of this thing before it gets too big. They wanted him to show up and or see 215.
Derek.
You are on the air.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
You are on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Derek.
Oh, Derek. Hey, good you calling in, my man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I've been watching your stuff, man. You know, I was checking you out ever since you put them old school jams on in the beginning.
That Public Enemy, you like that, huh?
Yeah. Public Enemy, it was something else, too.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
That's the Tupac Trapped.
Yeah. But that's the situation, man. There's a lot of that going on. But I mean, hey, you know, you got Umar Johnson fighting with Tariq, and you got. Now I've been watching Tariq coming at what's the girl name? Zaza Ali.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong. Man, I can't see what that sister could have done to him, but you you got these people who are considered the leaders of the black community, and they're doing crazy things, man. So I just sit back and watch. It's entertainment in a way. That's about all it is, man. I really don't, get too far in getting involved in it, but, because I got my own life. I got my own things going on. But some of it's sad, man, when you see brothers fighting against each other over nothing, man. Really over nothing when they get down to it,
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I see family. I see these guys, they're getting out here, and the reason why I believe that they're fighting is because they're hiding their skirt.
Right.
In fact, what I see them doing is fighting because they know what they should be doing, but they are afraid to do it. Right? So they know that the... Go ahead.
Let's look at it this way. And on that subject, I think a lot of people who have things to lose tend to know that white people support them in a way that they know if they say something, the chain is going to get pulled from under them, and basically they could cause themselves some trouble instead of really becoming independent. I think that even your idea, I listened, I've watched you talk about the plan, and that was very inspirational to me because that's something that I really didn't look at as far as watching some of the things that people are talking about doing, empowerment period towards your own. I mean, as being a leader in anything, whatever it is you're doing, man, you're going to have a lot of obstacles, but I think that creating an energy that two people who are YouTubers want to fight each other, I mean, that's just like, people just don't understand, man. Like, where I'm from, people lose their lives over threatening people. You know what I mean? You got to really watch what you say out there, because the energy you put out, when you run into somebody, or you might run into somebody who just like them. And, you can have a situation on your hands that you don't even realize is coming. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's sad, man. It's just really, it's crazy, man, because, wealthy people might fight over money situations, about business situations, or about somebody crossing the line with a family situation, but, you don't see somebody now, like, me, it's the first time I've really seen somebody who are big leaders in the black community, considered leaders rather, threaten each other, like, what they gonna do to each other publicly. I'm like, damn. So what if something should happen and it don't have nothing to do with that?
Right.
You got a case.
Right.
People don't think, man. They really don't think. When you got shit to lose, you don't put yourself out there and do moves like that. You know what I mean? You don't tell somebody what you're going to do to them, because if you run into them, I mean, you bought that. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
Exactly, family. Now, what do you think would happen if these guys were going around showing you how to develop an economic plan, an economic development plan for your area? What do you think would happen to these guys?
Well, you know what I believe? See, you're wired to think different than them. They don't consider, or I'm not going to say that they don't think about that. I will say this much. You got to realize something, man. People are put in positions to sway the people in a direction to make them think a certain way. All I see people right now, YouTubers doing, is saying donate, donate, donate. Subscribe. like, which is good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then you got people who are really creating negative energy because they know that that's what's going to get them views, and then, you know, they're pulling people along. It's just like, sort of like the church hustle.
That's all it is.
You know,
it's poverty pimping.
Yeah. Yep. You know, you create that mindset and got all these people, you know, all in the eye, and next thing you know, it's just sad, man. It's another form of mind control in an indirect way of how the people are really feeling. Yes, all as black people, we all face situations that are not right. I've faced a lot of situations, but I'll tell you this much, I've faced a lot of situations from my own culture that just, you know, it upset me, but you know what, man, I moved on. You know, I don't bother with it. I don't entertain it. You know what I mean? I moved on.
Well,
and that's pretty much how people got to learn how to just, like, suck it up and move on to a better quality of people you got to surround yourself with. Because what I'm seeing, man, is crazy. It's crazy. It really is, man. And it's sad because here's the bad part about it. You got a lot of younger people who are looking for role models, and they think this is how I should act.
And this, right,
You know?
right, and they're actually watching us, you know. And I couldn't
Right.
sit by and watch 4 educated, highly educated. So you have to remember, they have at a minimum a bachelor's degree. Tommy Sotomayor, bachelor's degree. Tariq Nasheed, bachelor's degree. At the minimum. Umar
Right.
Johnson and Boyce Watkins, they're both doctors from these white universities. Okay? And so what we have,
Right.
what we have here is that we actually have people who are highly intelligent people who have been talking and speaking and going through the trial and error of how to get or how to market to a certain demographic for a long time. They've been doing this for a long time. They just didn't spring up yesterday.
Right.
Right? And so
So they
now,
know better.
right, and so now they have a following of young people, mainly millennials, following after them, thinking that these people here are going to help them to the promised land. And they're not. They're actually leading them in a position to where their neighborhoods are going to stay the same and nothing's being done. Right? So,
Right.
in my view, the reason why black people don't like black people is because black people don't do anything with each other, but talk negative.
Yep.
You know,
You hit it. You hit
You-
the nail on the head.
you
Yep.
know, what's up, nigga? Nigga, what's up, dog? Nigga this, nigga that. Well, he's saying the same thing. Look, you
Yeah.
niggas are not gonna do anything. You niggas not worth nothing. So I'm just gonna talk at you, and you're gonna pay me for it. And here's how that's gonna get done, right? So, in my view, if you and I were to get together in your neighborhood, and we say, all right, we identify some stores, we identify, let's just say the one city block that we're on, and we work with that one block, and we work with the stores that's around us, right? And we say, here's how we're going to make this neighborhood better. And you just put it in a plan. Here's the people that's
Right.
around here, right? Here's what we think we should be doing. Let us reach outside to outside corporations to provide more jobs. Okay?
Well,
That's readily easy stuff.
see, you're missing a few pieces to the puzzle, though. We don't manufacture much here. So we you know, like a ground base has to be building an income off of some way and somehow that can produce a lot of things to get in position to do that. Because, you know, we have a lot of import. We have a lot of people purchasing things from other countries and waiting for it to get shipped here. a lot of cases, you know, that's one of our things where, let's say if you can buy an iPhone, just to use something as an example, from out of the country for maybe $20 or $30 cheaper, some people might go as low as to find another deal, you know, that might be, you know, in the U.S. it might be considered $300. But if you go international, you might can get it for $119, $10 shipping. But it'll come in 10 days instead of coming in 3 days or something. So we're dealing with an economic situation that, you know, we don't manufacture nothing here, and the cost of labor, what it would cost to produce things, you know, people are going to want over, you know, a certain amount hourly, and then you got to worry about people who are stealing, you know, so you're dealing with, you know, in any business that you run or want to set up, you have to, you know, take losses in a way, so to speak, you know. So it's a lot that you have to deal with, and the main thing is, we can't put ourselves in position to do that because we first got to get over the trust issue. We don't trust each other. That's one of the biggest issues, and I mean one of the biggest. Don't trust each other, talk negative about each other, you know, being jealous of each other, you know, because material things, man, don't mean nothing if you don't have your health, you know, and that's what, you know, it's a lot of stress. You deal with your own people, and they say things that, you know, can pretty much upset you, and it's just like, you know what? Why waste my energy? You know what I'm saying? This is where a lot of people are at. A lot of people are in positions to help other people, but they don't want to because they're dealing with, you know, that ghetto mentality. They tired of it. So, you know, I just look at what's going on right now, man, this battle in between all of this, and like even with Boyce Watkins situation, he's upset because he got played. That's how I look at that.
I mean, he didn't get played. He was marketing UCLA for months and Sundays, right, knowing that it's a racist institution, right? Knowing that we can't express our freedom of thought, knowing all of this. And so, and now he's going to boo-hoo about it? He's going to cry about it?
But here's where he made his mistake at. He should have got it written into a contract deal that says if they back out of it, there will be a fee behind that.
Right.
That's what he should have did. That would have been the smart thing. See, now he's trying to go back on it and trying to backtrack it, and it's hard to get. It's hard to get some type of you know, anything back out of a deal like that, because you know usually when you buy into a ticket or to a ceremony or an event, that situation, depending on their terms and conditions, they might have a legitimate reason why they backed out of it. They might. Who knows? But I think he got played personally. Probably the person who invited him, for real.
Right, and it was more than likely the person who invited him decided to uninvite him simply because they got what they needed out of him.
Right.
Which was actually to use his platform for more ticket sales. So this is what I'm saying about these poverty pimpers, right? This is what I'm saying directly about them. They don't have a product. So it's like this. Let's say a Boyce made widgets, right? And he was able to sell widgets to anybody, everybody. Then I can probably kind of endorse him and say, you know what? He's taking time out of his busy day from him making them widgets to come down and to talk to black people. So give him a little token to say thank you, right? Because it's not much to him in the grand scheme of things, but his time is actually money. Okay? Right. No, he's not doing that. Here's what he's saying. I'm not going to work on the plantation, black people. You're going to work on the plantation. And then you're going to pay me to listen to me talk about you being on the plantation.
Yep. But you know what? That reverse psychology and mentality, that's what I'm talking about, the mind game, man. You know, a lot of people don't realize the hustle.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. He's hustling black people. Period. That's why everything he has, and I mean, it's a great marketing tool, right? He's just black this, black that, black this, black that, and people honestly think that it's applying to them. He's not selling financial literacy to white people. And white people are the ones who actually wish they had it.
Right.
Okay? He's not attempting to go to these colleges or universities and say, listen, there are thousands every year of black males that come into the football program. How about we teach financial literacy to these guys? Because they need it. They have the money.
Yeah, but you know, but you know what? People get on that high horse, man, and you know, meeting people who are sports players, boxers, entertainers. You're dealing with a lot of ego. You know, because see, money. Some people worship money. Some people really worship a dollar, man, and that's like people who have wealth. Money's nothing to them. You know, it's nothing to them. It doesn't mean nothing. You know, to lose 10,000, they don't even blink.
Right.
You know, it's just that's like, oh damn, how did that happen? Let me make sure I protect myself from that happening again. You know, but they're not upset about it. Nobody's going to get killed. Nobody's going to, you know, it's not that serious. So you know, I realize something, man, that it's the quality of the person. You know, you have to think bigger of yourself, man, and be able to just some things, man, just look at it like, you know what? It's a lesson learned. I mean, people donated to these guys. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, everybody got to hustle. What can we do?
Well, the first thing that we can do, in my view, like I always say, stop listening to them, stop talking to them, turn your back on them. I mean, and this is for everyone who expects black support, for who expects black people to support them. Because the way the white world works is like this. If black people make it fashionable, if black people accept it, then it must be okay for us. There will
tell you
be...
something, man. You're beating on the dead horse, man. It's hard. Black people don't listen to this goddamn thing, man. You. I ain't saying everybody, but I've dealt with a lot of different people, man. A lot of them just don't get it. You know, it's really about survival at this point with our culture. It's survival, and if they don't know the game, then they left out of the loop, and that's just it is what it is. Because you got people coming to this country every day, opening up businesses, and we run right in there and support it every day.
Well, and the reason why we support it is because we don't know the next step or what we should do for each other, for ourselves. We don't know. We honestly don't know how to get out of this trance.
You know, it's it's a true story too. I moved into another part of town, right? And I thought to myself, I'm in an area where nobody knows me. You know, it's like an area, it's nice, you know what I mean? And I noticed a lot of people from the inner part of the city started moving over there. So I started to running into people that I knew from years ago. And I went to the dry cleaners. I look at the guy behind the desk. I know the guy, right? The Asian guy. He went from opening up fried wing spot, opened up a dry cleaner. I'm like, what the hell are you doing behind the desk? He said, I own it. I said, what happened to the Chinese store? He said, oh, I gave that to my brother. You know, and this is what I'm saying. I can't be mad at him. But I tell you one thing, it really teaches you that, you know, generational wealth, people don't focus on. their mindset is not there. They don't think like that. See, you know, people have to start learning, hey, how to support, whether it's family, friends, you know, supporting people and trying to influence them to do better, man. And that's, you know, one of the things. Like, people that you reach out to and you talk to, you know, you're going to find it, man. There's a lot of people out there, man, that they got some things going on in their life, man, that just, they won't express it to you, but their way of in reaction towards you is, you know, they give you you know, sort of a hard time. And that's the thing. What you're talking about, I think that you're giving them too much too early. You're going to make them OD, in other words. You gotta feed them slow, cause right now you're throwing basically a whole library book of books to read right now, and which is a good thing. I believe it's a good thing because it'll teach people first. Now let's start thinking like this and let's start researching this and put something together, because we ain't worried about no YouTube leader that's going to direct us to it. Now we got to search for this. That's how I am. Okay. When I see something and I look at it, I try to study everything about it and try to learn how I can put it together.
Now, Neely Fuller said we should avoid each other like we have SARS, unless we have a predetermined agenda of some things that we would like to talk about and or accomplish. Which means we shouldn't really be conversating and we really shouldn't be doing anything unless we have something that we're going to be planning toward ending white supremacy racism. Which means you have to start with having a plan. Now, I spoke to a white guy, and it was just interesting. I just ran across him. And I spoke to him, and he was going to school to get his doctorate, or no, his master's in economic development. And he said to me, the wave of the future is that everyone is going to have to come to the economic developer in order to do things in the city in which they're in first. Which means this. That's right. So if you want to open up a business, you're not just going to open your business just by buying a location and how we do it today. No, it has to be put in the plans in order for that to happen, so that a allocation of resources would happen more efficiently, more effectively, so that way we won't have a repeat of 2008. Right? And one thing that he drew my attention to, he said, well, if you want to notice, if you want some information, what we're studying in school right now is Atlanta. Atlanta has a strong population of black people that white people put in place. And we're seeing and we're studying how black people work out the economic situation. That's very interesting, because them Negroes is down there thinking they're doing it all on their own. They're thinking that all of this funding and all of these things is happening on their own. And it's not. I was just speaking with my wife and I said, you know something? Malcolm X went to Cambridge and spoke at Cambridge in front of all of those white people. And he had no idea that they were actually dissecting him, studying him as he spoke. This is what white people do. They study long.
Well, you know, I think everybody who's coming here, and some of them don't even have to have a plan, man. They come and they get handed the business to them. And it's just like, you know, do what you got to do.
Oh, no,
and they already know what to do.
Oh, no, they have a plan. See, when they come here from overseas, they have a plan. Okay? So the people from India, white boys have a plan. You guys are going to study math and science. And you guys are going to go into a couple of fields. You guys are going to basically go into technology. Some of you guys can be doctors. Some of you guys, but you're not going to you're not going to be lawyers. We don't need you to be lawyers. Math and science is what you get.
It's funny you said that. You're right.
Okay, that's their plan.
I mean, a lot of people, man, at some point who are going to some of these schools, or some of them already have the talent to run their own business.
They do.
I've run into some who are they're such geniuses that the only reason they don't really push their talent is because they're bored, because nothing is a challenge to them anymore. I've seen people in the tech world who are that much of a genius, and it really shocked me, man, at some of the knowledge that some of these guys had, and they just refused. They won't even go to a college. They know everything. You know, they can outdo, you know, the average engineer. And it's just like, it just makes you wonder, man. You have some people who really have the talent that they just not using it. And me, I don't know, man. From seeing a lot of things that I've seen now, I'm seeing the gentrification happen in my city, and it's just like, you know, houses that used to be $60,000 and $50,000 now $500,000.
Now let me ask you this: what's about what city? What city are you in? If you want to share that, you can.
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay, so you're in Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia.
Okay, so you're in Philly. Okay,
Yep.
so you know exactly where Umar Johnson is coming from.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, big time. But you know what? Here's the grand scheme of it. A, our culture don't trust each other, and B, we don't support each other. C, we won't stick together. So I just look, until the time comes that people say, now we're ready, there ain't a lot that anybody's going to be able to do, because that's just pretty much where we are. I hate to say it, you know, I'm not going to stress myself and end up in the hospital about it. You know, not to say I've given up on my people. I have not. You know, I work with those who are looking for it. Other than that, I'm not wasting my energy, man. I learned something, man. You can't hold people's hand and force them into a knowledge that they just don't understand and don't want to. You can't.
Well,
you have to let people.
Well, here's what I've learned, and I don't mean to cut you off, but here's what I learned. There are a lot of industries and a lot of different sectors.
Right.
And there is a lot of things. See, you don't know what you don't know. Okay? You don't know what you don't know. And what most black people don't know is how gentrification works, is that there is at an appointed time that gentrification is supposed to happen. It's an appointed time for it. They're basically saying, okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to plan to reduce police police presence. We're not going to, okay, so this year we're not going to have any funding that's going to be allocated to businesses on this side of town. Okay? So no police presence, no money allocated toward businesses, no more investment, right? Which means crime is going to go up. Period.
Right.
And when crime goes up, that's the start of an area that's on the downturn, so that it can be regentrified.
Yep.
All right. So if that's going to happen, you should see that in your city plans. Now the question is, when are black people going to get together? Don't matter, it could be 6 of you, and say, this is their plan, let this be our plan. And then go and say, all right, city leaders, we want to work with you because we don't agree with this part of your plan.
You know, it's hard to get people to stick together, man.
So in Philly, so you're trying to tell me in Philadelphia you couldn't find 6 people to come up with an economic plan?
No.
No?
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
Nope. I'm gonna tell you this much. What I do, you might have, maybe you can do 3, but 6, everybody's gonna want to fight each other about nonsense.
Give me a second. Give me a second there. Jay Boogie, hey, thanks for stopping through. Hey, if you want to get on the line, I know I'll probably have to kick Derek off, but give me a call and I'd love to hear from you. But if you're on your way to bed, hey, I understand. We all turn there early sometime. You got to get up. You got to go work hard tomorrow. So thanks for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button up or down, either way. But I would love to hear from you. All right? Thanks again, Jay Boogie. Derek, go ahead.
Yeah, so that's pretty much, I'm not going to say it cannot be done, but personally, that's what I'm saying. You're ahead of your time, man. You're ahead of your time. I know the time is now for our people to get together and plan things, but it's so much work to get people just to listen alone. Here's the main part of the whole substance of this thing. You have to have people, that are open to an idea and willing to be creative, that can modify their brain to think like that. First, that's one of the key problems. People don't think outside the box in order to create things, to make other things happen. You know, people are so stuck into their own ways, it's very complicated to get people to listen. You know, I just went and I fixed something at a property just now, and the guy didn't even think that I knew how to work on houses, but he didn't know. I used to be a drywall finisher for years, but I knew how to do plumbing. He was shocked. I was like, yeah, I can do this, no problem. Easy. I knew what to do. I didn't have to call nobody. You know, I did it. But that was only because when I grew up, we had a plumber, we had a roofer, we had a mechanic, we had older people who taught us how to, how to do things ourselves. And that's the one thing. We don't have a lot of people anymore that are leaders that are trying to teach anything. You know, there's so much, pretty much it's like every man for himself. That's pretty much where it's at. You know, when I moved to where I moved to, I'm starting to experience now being in like an entrepreneur myself. I'm seeing it's every man to himself behind people being lack of support and everything like that. And I've known them for years. I'm talking about 18 years. And they don't want to do business with me, but they'll do business with a stranger. Buying the same product. You know, I don't let it bother me. But this is what I'm saying. You know, culturally, man, we've got a lot of work to do. Extremely a lot. And I'm sorry, man. If you can get 6, look, I take my hat off to you, man. You know?
Now, out in your area, they have something called the PIDC. I don't know if you know what the PIDC is, but I guess that it's the Philadelphia Development Corporation. Philadelphia Investment Development Corporation or something like that. And they are the ones who do they are the ones who do the economic planning for Philly. Okay?
Well,
and
they're doing it now.
Oh yeah, because I mean, okay, so they have they have that old Navy Yard down there, right? And it looks nice. But those type of things take some planning, right? Those type of things take planning to do. And the conversation that the gentleman and I, the white guy and I that we had, he said, listen, it's unfortunate, but the only time that you hear about the plans and the development that's going on inside of a certain area is that when people want to complain about a zoning change or something that's directly affecting them. The reason why black people are failing is because we don't make plans for nothing. Here's what we make plans for. We make plans to go out. You know what I mean? We make plans to party.
Yep. Oh, they'll do that.
Or you'll make plans to show up to go see Umar Johnson.
Well, me personally, I don't know. I'm not. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but he just some things he says is just not my. You know, it ain't my twist. So I'm just pretty much. I don't like had nothing against him, but I just look at it like, you know, I just don't entertain it. You know what I mean? I got other things that are going on in my world that I just like. That's something I really don't have the time for. I mean, I think that some of the ideas were pretty good. There's nothing wrong with having a black school. You know, I think that I think he had a good idea, but it just, you know, like you said, the business plan, nobody's seen it. A lot of people were questioning the school. A lot of people were questioning and got a little bit of negative feedback behind asking where the donations were going. So, you know, it was a lot of things. Then you had a lot of people posting videos about things that were just curious concerns that I guess he didn't want to answer. And, you know, all this, I mean, I look at it like this, man. You know, have you ever seen anybody go in a facility and question anybody as much as they question him? I mean, they are really targeting him at this time.
Yes, I have.
It is a witch hunt for him.
No, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Here, let me explain something to you. Because most people don't understand how a school is built. Most people don't understand how a school comes into fruition. Anytime you want to go into a city, because he hasn't even gotten to the point yet where he has to appear before the council of these cities. And they're going to give him the 99th degree. Do you understand? They're going to give him the 99th degree. Oh, they're going to open this thing up so wide. Because it's a school.
Right.
So, with that being said, they're going to want to know where all of the capital funding is coming from, because he's going to expect certain, okay, this is the reason why you need a business plan, family. Because you have certain things called operational costs. You don't just build a school and then it just stay running without money coming in. So other than donations, how else is he going to get money in order to keep the school going? Because he has to pay people. See, these things are called operational costs. He knows that it costs more than $500,000 a month to keep schools running. See, this is the issue that we're having with black people not understanding how the planning stages go.
Well, he should have studied that before he even stepped into that arena.
This is my point. He knows because he was a principal.
Yeah, he should have studied that. That's something
No,
that.
it's not him. It's us.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's a matter of people putting things together. It takes one person can't do it all. You can't.
One person
One
can't.
person can.
One person can't do it all, right? But it's up to you to understand and to know some of the intangibles around what's going on around you. See, black
Right.
people can become wealthy if they just understand what's going on in their local neighborhood. You can literally become wealthy just by participating in what's going on within your zip code.
Yep.
Let me explain about this school. You don't just pop up a school. So when he says we don't want any white money, well, white money is going to come in because that's what money is white people's money. Okay? That's really what it is. Then he says
Who prints the money?
it's white people. Exactly. Right? White people print the money.
Whose trees are they cutting down to print that paper?
It's white people trees. Right? So let's not be fooled here. And then when you're talking, he's
Right.
saying we don't have our own institutions. Yes, we do. We have some things called HSBCUs, historically black colleges, right? However, what most people are not realizing is the books that the students get. What companies are they getting these books from? McGraw-Hill, Pearson. White companies.
Right.
See, this is what we have to get a clear understanding about. How are the schools staying open? The schools are staying open for the most part by from the government. So when you're saying that you don't need white money, well, what is a tax break? Because that's what you're going to be getting because the school is going to be opened up as a 501c3 or something like that. Okay? Because it's not for profit. So you're going to take black money and you're going to give it right back to white people. And then your expectation is for black people to continue to do what? Fund this particular school year after year. So now Boyce wants your money and he wants your money. Tariq Nasheed wants your money. And Tommy Sotomayor wants your money too. And none of them wants to give you a plan.
Wow.
My first thought was,
Can you imagine?
what did you say there?
You want to hear something? Look, can you imagine Tommy Sotomayor helping Dr. Umar?
Actually, I want you to catch the show because I'm actually going to go down the list. Right? I'm going to go down the list. And I'm going to explain what it is that they're doing with words that's coming out of their mouths. See, 99% of the time, they're telling you a lie that sounds like the truth.
Right.
Because it is the truth. We all did experience slavery, right? We all are getting those effects. But what they're not telling you about is this is what we should be doing. Black people, we got to get together. We got to put a plan together in order for us to get out of this mess. Because true schools, when you want to fund a school, true school funding is done by raising a bond. You got to raise a bond. Black people, what is a bond? And what is this whole bond raising thing? What is that about? That's a community coming together, putting together money. and you say, okay, I'm going to give you $20, $100 or something, $1,000 or something like that, and for the next 30 years, I expect to receive 30 years from now when this bond is up, I expect 7% back or 5% or whatever the amount of the bond is on the agreement for the bond. See, it's an investment. So you raise money for a bond, and then they say, okay, well, we have bond money out. So now we have enough money to get a loan or to get a grant or do whatever else, and we're going to put all of these things in until on the balance sheet to tell the government we have enough money to start work here on this building. And then they say, okay, you're going to provide jobs, it's going to be for education. Let us work with you so we can make this happen.
Right.
See, this is how these things are done. No, here's what he wants to do. Go out, hire whoever he wants to hire, and he having you to believe that he doesn't have any other responsibility toward these white institutions. But we're going to talk about that more when we start talking about Umar Johnson.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
He does.
He's got a lot going on.
He does.
I think that he's, at this point, he needs to fix some of the other problems that he has going on, and then he can get back to the all this other extra stuff, because you lose focus when you really have a plan to do something positive, and you have so many distractions in front of you, and you got your own baggage, your own personal situations going on. You know, you can get a little sidewinded with a lot and get overwhelmed, and I think that's where he's getting at. He's about to just lose it if he doesn't really grab hold. You know, like being under pressure, man, and going to court and all that bring a lot of pressure on you.
It does.
It bring a lot on you.
It does.
Oh yeah.
But listen, I want to cover that. I actually want to cover that in the next show, right? So I definitely love to have you come back on, family, so we can cover that in the next show. But here is something else. Did you catch the other live earlier? I know I was having some technical difficulties, but did you catch the other live earlier about Boyce Watkins?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually, funny that you mentioned that. I was watching that video earlier before you sent that up, and I was just thinking, you know, that it's kind of odd that he says somebody who was okay with him invited him or something like that nature, and that's why he was going. So, you know, it's kind of odd how you know, maybe somebody that's close to people in the school say, I'm going to invite this particular person. What transpired between that time, I don't think this got nothing to do with no damn white Jesus, I'll tell you that much. That's what he's claiming what the statement was. But we all know, you know, me personally, I don't get caught up in religion, because I think that's what another key that divides us as a culture. So, me personally, man, I don't know.
Well, why do you think? Why do you think white men? Why do you think white men actually put that in their own constitution, so that they would?
They wanted to
that's right.
control us.
Well.
Yep.
One of the things was, especially like if you study stuff like Freemasonry, right? They really don't want they really don't want religion to be in it, because they don't want to spend their time arguing about something that, you know, is your own belief system, right? And that's what black people actually spend a lot of time doing, arguing about things that is a person's belief. So how am I going to argue with you? So arguing about somebody's belief, it's like arguing about somebody's taste buds, right?
Right.
Hey, that's just your taste.
Right.
It's just your taste. So I'm not going to argue with you about that. Right?
Yep. Yep.
So let's go on and let's talk about what some things that we can talk about, and that's business.
Yep.
Right? Hey, it's a crack house right across the street, and you honestly want to argue about when Jesus is coming back. It's a crack house across the street. What are we going to do about that? But it's unfortunate.
Man.
It's unfortunate because we're taking on the white identities, and that's what black people are. We are in a state of denial.
Well, I think we're past the white and black stage, man. I think we're stuck at. This is the first thing we need to solve. How can we trust each other? That's like we worry about all of the other solutions and problems around us, but if I can't trust you and you can't trust me, and let's just say hypothetically our business partners don't trust each other or have different situations going on why they don't want to deal with each other, that's where we're running into multiple situations. You know, I don't like race. I don't even pay it no mind. I mean, I know there is racism out there. I've dealt with it, but I don't feed into that extra. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the reason why we're talking about that on this show. Here's the reason why we're talking about it. It's because we are in a system that has been designed. Capitalism is a system that's designed by white people, based on a free market system, right? And so what is happening is the reason why black people can't get together is because we are viewing ourselves through the same lens that white people view us. So here is what it is, because you mentioned manufacturing earlier. Actually, it's based on a mathematical equation. Now, you have something that's called productivity, right? So you have a 9-to-5
Right.
job, or you have a job, and every day you have to get up and you have to be productive. Okay? And that productivity is going to equal your value. Okay? So how productive you are, people are going to see you as being valuable. And how valuable you are is going to translate to money. Period. Right? So so productivity equals how valuable you are, which is going to translate to money. So value plus money equals productivity, or I'll work that out some other time. But
Right.
here's what we are. Black people are not producing anything. We are not producing one thing. Why? Is because we have been following people. So for example, the Black Panthers.
Well,
Hold on. Black Panthers, everybody loved the Black Panthers. Absolutely loved them. People still love the Black Panthers. But what most people don't know is that the Black Panthers were selling drugs all through Oakland to finance the movement. Yeah. So they wasn't producing and manufacturing and doing anything. Nothing. So all of the money that was captured in the 50s and 60s from the plants like Goodyear, these people had their money, didn't know how to invest it or where to invest it, and they didn't build anything else, so they sold them drugs and took all the wealth off the streets. So when the police confiscated it, there you go. All of the money's gone up in smoke. Or it's going to the drug men. That's what it's going to. Right? So here's what we're doing, something similar now. We're giving our money to people like Dr. Boyce Watkins. I don't know if you got a chance to see, but his media group is being ran out of an apartment.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's about 11 between between $1,000 and maybe $2,000 a month he's spending on the north side of Chicago. Now, I'm not familiar with Philly, but I can tell you everybody can kind of relate to Manhattan. This area on the north side of Chicago looks something just like Manhattan. It's like where the Gold Coast is. It's a place called Lincoln Park. Very expensive place to live in terms of Chicago standards, because you still got to pay your heat, your cooling, and all of the other stuff. You know, they don't kind of give you that stuff for free in Chicago, right?
Well, Chicago, you got to watch what side you're on.
Well, that's true. And so my guess is just like Tariq Nasheed, he's hiring white people to work his media group. It would be very interesting to see who is Boyce Watkins' manager. You see,
that's a good question.
These white people are actually, and they're out here. Now, am I saying that there's anything wrong with doing business with white people? That's totally up to you at this point. Okay? But here's what they do. They seek out women. They say nice things to women. And they catch their ear. And then they pimp them. And then the first thing that these sisters do is they take out their money. Hey, yeah, I donated some money to you because that makes them feel good. Oh, brother, I don't know what's going on with your phone.
With whose phone?
I think it was just a lot going on in the background.
Oh, yeah, it was a siren. Yeah.
There you go.
City, you hear them sirens, man. You know?
But yeah.
That's the thing, man. When you live, you know what's crazy? Somebody said that to me. They said, the lady said, you know, when she moved out of the city, she didn't hear no sirens. She said when she lived down here in Philly, she said, man, them sirens is gone. Helicopters, sirens, all types of stuff.
Well, and
I said, you know,
go ahead.
And it's real. And it's sad because, you know what's the bad thing? People don't realize, man, it's like we're going to wipe each other out. This is where you know, when you look at the grand scheme of it in the long term, it's a crazy way to look at it, but I don't know, man. Like I said, you know, if you can pull it off, you can get 6 people. I don't even care if they're in my city. But if you can get 6 people to listen, man.
Hey, then we're off to the races. We're off to the races.
If you can get six, I say you're doing damn good, man.
Now, I want to tell you something. We need for this to happen because I have a 6-year-old.
Okay.
So, as his father, I have to make sure that we get rid of these parasitic people so that we can start getting our minds right to the point to where we can have decent neighborhoods.
Right.
There's no reason not to have a decent neighborhood. The only reason why you don't have a decent neighborhood is because you're leaving it up to someone else to do something for you, namely white people.
Depending on the government to cut you a check, yep.
Well, it's not even that. It's they telling you, okay, all right. So, black people complain. Oh, they have all these stores by the Arabs. Look at the corner stores. Right? Well, what plan did you come up with to get rid of those corner stores?
No, see, this is where I'm going to say this much. I got a friend who came from Italy, and this guy used to bum cigarettes off of people. He worked at a pizza shop. He came from Naples, and this guy spent 6 years saving his money. He now owns 3 pizza shops, and he's opening up a pizza shop in Florida, and he's doing very well. He worked hard for it. That's the thing. People have to sacrifice sometimes. Stop partying, stop hanging out and drinking and doing dumb stuff, and just focus on what they need to do instead of getting entertained by all of the other extra stuff. You know, people, I think that culturally, from not having a lot of foundation things in your life growing up, I think a lot of people are caught up in the looks of things instead of worrying about, you know, building and sacrificing and really dedicating themselves to say, look, you know, I'm going to do this. You know, that's one of the things that I found myself in running into a lot of situations that a lot of times people didn't believe in themselves. That was the main thing. You know, and it's I realized, man, you know, you can't make somebody who they're not. So you can't waste time. You know, you'll find, if you try to find them 6 people, you're going to run through 150 people before you find those 6.
Well, that's okay because there's 45 million of us. Right?
Right. But it's picking the needle from the haystack.
Now, what's the quickest way to find a needle in the haystack?
Go to business-minded people.
No, you just have to use a magnet.
You got the magnet. You got the show.
You see? And that is all we need to do. Right? Attract the type of people that we need. All right?
Right.
Because there's a ton of people that's out here and they want the communities to look better. They just don't know what they need to do. Okay?
Yep.
Black lives don't matter because black people are not producing things. Now, it's very simple. You can produce a better neighborhood. Now, you can produce a better neighborhood. Okay? If you listen to what I'm telling you for free, I'm not asking you for any donations.
Right.
You can produce a neighborhood that white people will want to move into without kicking you out of it.
Right. Right. Yep.
Because they would hate to see you go.
Right.
So,
I agree.
so what type of so how do you do that? You simply say, let's get involved. That's all you say. Let's get involved. Hey, you know the little guy from Italy? Yeah. He got the pizza shop down on the corner, right? Yep. Well, how about this? How about we help get him some investment capital to keep up the sidewalk, make the sidewalk look good, and fix up the building, you know, get him some grants, get him some grant money from the government. How about we work on that this year? See what we can do about fixing up that building and you know, see what we can do about helping him out so that he can give discounts to the people in the neighborhood. So he can run some promotions. Right? How about that liquor store over there? We don't want any more liquor stores. Listen, I live in Dallas. The Depression came 2008, 2009. They had liquor stores. By 2010, I mean, they had liquor store supermarkets called ABC Liquor. About the size of a Walmart. Any kind of alcohol you wanted to get in there, you can. And through city planning, they got rid of all of the liquor stores that was like that. They had a whole row. It used to be called Liquor Store Row. And they had huge stores. And they got rid of those liquor stores. Through planning. Now guess what they have? Now guess what they have? Through planning, they have breweries. They're making their own alcohol here. Distilleries.
They're doing it here too. Yeah, we have a place that does their own beer too now.
So you see how this goes, and it just happens through planning.
Right. Well, you know, that's where it comes. The mindset, man. You have to have people that have that mindset. I realize you can't talk to a cook and teach them how to be an electrician. You know, when you have people that are stuck in a mindset, you first have to get them to understand. Let's think outside the box to create that income, and then after that, let's get educated on how we can do that. You know. It takes steps. You know, you don't want to bombard them with too much too early, because people, man, when they don't understand something, they really go to the negative in order to push you away to get from that uncomfort zone. You know, so that's pretty much where that's at. I've realized. Like, I've learned a lot in this past couple of years in doing business with a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures. People who don't understand things, they instantly jump towards that avenue. And, you know, then you got some people who are really just like, you know what, if it's about making money, I'm all ears. You know what I mean? That's the kind of people I like to talk to. You know? But it's you know, it's up to the person. That's how you got to look at it, you know? You got to find the right people for that. That's the first key. That's willing to be, you know, decent about what they're doing and have pride in what they're doing, you know, and believe in it, you know, and believe in themselves. Because, you know, me personally, man, I'm tired of being the therapist to America. It's too much weight on my shoulders. And I feel like at this point in my life, I got some things going on with my family that I need to focus on right now and make sure that that's straight. And, you know, that's the best I can do, man. The rest of the world, man, I feel like there are very few that are, you know, you have to keep your circle short, in other words. You can't branch out too far because not everybody's on the same page, you know. That's pretty much how it is.
Well, the only thing that's left in a lot of these neighborhoods is sitting down with people in your community, because in most places there's not even jobs for black people.
You have to create your own job.
Well, see that's the misnomer. So you have to understand something. Black people have been in this country with white people since they first sailed here.
So who's next now?
Now here's what I'm saying to you. Black people have fought in every major war right alongside of white people. And if it wasn't for black people during World War II especially, they would have lost. If it wasn't for black people, especially during the Civil War, this country would not be who it is and what it is. Right?
Okay.
So to actually talk about black people actually starting a business is child's play. Here's who you should be talking to about starting a business. A child. You know, you start them off with their first lemonade stand. Right? That's what them starting a business. That's what you're actually saying to people. That's what Boyce Watkins tells people. When in all actuality, the name of the game here is the natural resources. That's the name of the game. Now, Boyce Watkins, especially, and Umar Johnson, Dr. Umar Johnson, both of them know this. Especially, first of all four of those guys know this. because you learned this in Business 101. You learned it in business. And roughly, no matter what, especially Boyce Watkins, because he has been well trained in this. So he knows where the money is. Now, Boyce Watkins is pissed because his masters told him, we don't want you here. So now he's not going to get another university gig.
I'm shocked that they pulled this now. And I think it's because of the negative energy he's been spewing out.
Well, yeah. But here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. He's still riding the coattail of the white man. You know, he hops on his airplanes, drives his cars, rents his apartments, right? In his neighborhoods, right? Instead of saying, hey, listen, black people, you know what? I have a company where I'm going after these natural resources. I don't care what it is. Go ahead.
It's a really curious question. And this is a very logical one. When you open up a business, it's not that you don't want to open it up in the black community, but the number one key is if you don't get the proper support system and a safe area to open that business up, you got to realize you're jeopardizing other people. You know, I've seen it, you know, and lived it. Opening up a business in the black community sometimes can bring you some real crazy situations with your own people. And see, that's the thing, you know, when you say open up a business in the black community, that's fine. That's a great thing. But the first thing is to make that community a safe community. Now,
so how do you make it a safe community?
Say this again?
Okay. So when you say you're going to open up a business, the first thing you need to have a business plan. And in your business plan, you have something that's in there that's called a SWOT analysis. Your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So this is where you talk about the crime in your business plan. Before you go to the store, you make a plan. In your head, you say, I'm going to go down there to the store because they have whatever lunch meat I'm going to get. I'm not going to go to that store because they don't have it or it's too expensive, whatever the case may be. You develop a plan.
Just got to watch where you'll be hitting. I like in Philly, you got to be real careful because in certain neighborhoods you really might not want to open that up in, man. Cause
but see, what you have is a plan. And those who are failing to plan to fail. And this is what's happening to black people. We are actually planning on failing. And then want to point the finger to everyone else about why we're failing. The issue here is we keep asking white people for jobs. And then what we're saying is, okay, well then we'll start our own business, right? Okay, then where are you going to get these products from? What group of people? You're going to get the products from white people. That's who you're going to get them from.
We don't manufacture.
Or Asians.
We don't manufacture things.
That's my point.
You know, yeah, where we going to get the resources to put those things together? Eventually, you're going to have to deal with somebody else. If we don't own no manufacturing plant.
That's my
to
point.
Produce tires, sneakers, clothing. We got to figure out where we're going to get the polyester cotton,
No, okay, so let me make it real simple for you. Let me make it more simple for you. There's billions of cars on the road. Billions of cars.
Right.
Right? We like these cars. Starting back in the 70s, boy, black folks had big Cadillacs. Give me a gold Cadillac.
Yep.
Right? Because black people like to show off. That's what we do. Right? So we like to look nice and ride. Turn the music up loud. Have you ever asked yourself, what products are we actually putting on these cars? Do we produce a screw to go on the car? How about make the lug nuts for the automobiles? That's a wealthy person right there who makes lug nuts. Right? See, we're not thinking because our minds have been preoccupied with parasites. The pastors grabs our attention. Boyce Watkins, Umar Johnson, Steve Harvey, Louis Farrakhan. I do not understand for the life of me what the plan is for the Nation of Islam. I do not understand for the life of me why each one of those people, if you are a member of the Nation of Islam, the reason why you are not earthly wealthy.
I agree.
Farrakhan has zero. He does not have a plan. Maybe a nice guy, doesn't have a plan.
Maybe a plan for himself.
So this is the reason why black women don't respect us. This is the reason why. You cannot respect a man without a plan. Now the sister got a plan. She gonna whip you into shape. That's her plan.
Yep. She's gonna make you go to work.
That's what she's gonna do. Right?
What have you done for me lately? Yeah.
And in which black females, they should be waking up every morning making sure that your mind is on ownership of the natural resources. She should be saying to you, own the oil that makes the electricity for the house.
But how are you going to get that?
All right. How'd the white boy get it? How'd the white boy get it?
A lot of times they knew the right. It's not even about white. You got, man.
No. It is about white. Now, let's not say that. It is about white, brother. Because they the ones who own it.
Nah, I can't say that.
What are you talking about?
Oil?
Tell me one black person in America that owns oil that produces the electricity in this country. If you do, I'll be quiet.
None of them.
That's my point. More importantly, African Americans.
We have now a whole new system coming. There are other people coming here now who are opening up businesses, and it started with, I believe at first was probably the Asian. No, I have nothing against them, but a lot of times we find that they open up businesses and they don't spend money with us. A lot of cases.
Because we don't produce anything. So why should anybody spend money with us when we're not productive?
I agree.
Non-productive people, they don't have no value.
Right.
So if you don't have any value, then why would I give you any money?
Well, that's why we have to stop learning to be consumers and be business owners. I understand exactly where you're coming from.
No, what we have to do, instead of being business owners, we have to own the natural resource. Because the natural resource is what transcends the color line. No matter who you are, you're going to need water. No matter who you are, you're going to need a roof over your head. No matter who you are, you're going to need that electricity. Boyce knows this. But here's what he's doing. He says we have a a multi-million-dollar company. But where's the business plan, boys? Where's the business plan? Where's the investor relations? Where's your books?
Well, he has a school, doesn't he?
Listen, here's what he has. A financial literacy program that's designed to be able to go to the federal government in order to get money. I know this personally because he's a good friend with a guy by the name of John Hope Bryant. And John Bryant is a good friend of his. Hold on a second. I believe we got another call. Just hold on a second for me.
Call from.
So,
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Go ahead. You on the air?
yes, are we live right now?
Oh yeah, we are. We live. Who am I speaking with?
Okay. Okay, I'm listening to the call on YouTube.
Hold on, just a second. What's your name?
The name is Sal.
Chow?
Al.
Al. Okay, Al, you're on live. Go ahead.
Okay, the problem is that what people are not realizing is we're not claiming our birthright. What's happening here, when they're telling you to go back to Africa, we populated the entire planet. This is why when you mix the white gene with the black gene who has no melanin like we do, we're the dominant factor. What's going on, everything has been run, and I'm going to expose it. Everything is being run by the Vatican. When your child is born, all the hospitals are charitable hospitals. This is where it starts at birth. Because my mother and my grandmother and all our mothers did not know we live in a world of contract.
Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me slow you up there, Al. Let me slow you up there, okay?
Sure.
Because you're about to say a mouthful, and I kind of know where you're headed. What is your nationality?
My nationality, I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay, so you're Puerto Rican.
Right.
And
my
so,
father is as dark as they come. He's Dominican. So there it is, and we have Italian in our family as well.
And so you're in Chicago. So do you want to share with the family where you are? What area you live in? And what area is that?
We're in Chicago.
So you're in Chicago.
I'm in New York and I'm in Chicago.
Okay.
It's one of the worst places to live on the planet.
Which places? Hold on.
Sure.
Because we're just trying to establish what region you are in, because that's very important. It's very important for people to know where you are. Okay. So that way they can understand geographically what we're talking about here. All right.
Sure.
Now, geographically, you're in Chicago. You're saying that's one of the worst places to live?
Yes, it is.
All right. And why would you say that?
I would say that because with all what I used to see, I lived in New York, and I'd see the NAACP and all these movements, basically Messy Jesse. I'm from New York. I went into Jesse. It's all fake. It's a facade. The NAACP, what happens is all this white money comes. They put and pick people on the board members. Then they start to influence everything. They've done it in academia. They have done it in basically medical schools. They've done it everywhere. And this is the damn problem. I want everybody who's listening on the phone right now, I want all of you who have access to a computer, go in there and start looking in their state and other states to find out how many KKK chapters are there. The Nazis are back. This is basically the fourth Reich. This is information that none of you have. And no one dares speak about this. So the damn problem is you think they're Jews in Israel and Palestine? Those are Germans, Ashkenazis that come from the Ashkenazi mountains. We helped these people. We took them in, and just like they did in Palestine, just like they did to the Mexicans, just like they did in Texas and California, they cracked jokes and they took over Manhattan for beads. This goes on and on. What they've been doing is getting back to what I was saying. When you mix the white gene with the black gene is dominant always. They know that. They know it for a fact. They know they're inferior. This is why they're spraying chemtrails. The reason being is because they're blocking the sun. There's more than one sun. Every 26,000 years, the planets light up. They light up on January 1st. No one was looking up because they're looking into all the stupidity. What do you think? It's the year 2017. That's the biggest dogma on the planet.
So what you're trying to say is, and I get all your knowledge, and I really appreciate you calling. So what you're saying is, Jesse Jackson is a parasite.
He sure is.
Farrakhan has a different agenda. I can show you pictures of his handlers. They are all being controlled.
Now,
And
what
people don't
neighborhood?
understand is,
What neighborhood are you in Chicago?
basically, we are in the south side. That's where we're at.
On the south side, would you give me kind of a, you know, are you guys in Inglewood? Are you guys in, you know, Auburn District?
I really don't want to pin it down exactly.
Okay,
I prefer
all right.
not to.
Well,
What they do, they paint.
well, the reason why I'm saying is because the south side is a big area, right? So you could be
Right.
at Woodlawn, or you could be, you know, you could be in Auburn or the back of the yards. You could be in any one of those locations, and based on the location, you're going to get a different economic feel, right?
Exactly.
All right. So I know I'm from Chicago, so this is the reason why. This is the reason why I'm asking. I'm not trying to pin down your address, right? I'm just trying to get the family to understand, because we've been talking about Boyce Watkins, right? And Boyce Watkins is actually running his company out of the north side in Lincoln Park,
Right.
right? So maybe you can share with the family a little bit about what Lincoln Park is like, as opposed to where you are now.
What they do is, it's like with everywhere you go. As soon as some white people move in, all basically property values go up. You go into where Mayor Daley, you haven't heard a word or peep out of Mayor Daley. But what you don't know, his son is in the military. He's probably going to come back as an officer. He'll probably run for office. It goes on and on. You go into those neighborhoods. You go into the Polish neighborhoods. All the streets are fixed. They're repaired. And then when we had Obama, oh, he's going to do this. He didn't do a damn thing, because presidents are not elected. They're selected. This is why things will never change. What people need to understand, I'm going to go into a lot of things. We never elect the president. He's selected. And it doesn't matter. And you're so worried. He's the president of a corporation. When you go into any court, you are not in a court. You're in a for-profit corporation. This is how I've been able to beat just about every case. And when you learn this, what's happening is these people have no authority.
So what is the solution? So what is the solution? On this show, we are coming up with solutions. Give me a second. We come up with solutions that people could actively do, right? In their everyday lives. They can get up and they can wake up tomorrow and say, this is what you could do. And it has to be irrefutable. Okay? So for example, just real quick, not to cut your knowledge off, but a viable solution that I can see is that you get involved with your city planning, or you get involved with the planning of your neighborhood. So, no matter what neighborhood you're in, if you're involved with the planning in that neighborhood, you would have a much better neighborhood.
You have to police your neighborhood. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to start your own businesses. You have to grow your own food. This is why they try to make all these laws so you have to grow your food, because most of the food is tainted. It's hybrid. This is why cancer has been cured for 40 years. Everything's just been cured. AIDS has been cured. This is why they eliminated saving. You take Laetrile. Now they got the marijuana now, because everything is illegal and people got to put on their thinking cap. It's illegal. Why? Because you don't pay tax. This is the mafia on steroids. There's a system. So when you go into a court, for example, you got a ticket. You only answer to your creator. It says in God we trust. This is for all religions, Christians, Islam, everything. Everything is controlled by the Vatican. Every religion has been infiltrated. This is why they're so similar. 12 months, 12 astrological signs. This goes on and on. It's all geometry, sacred geometry, and the Masons think they're so smart. Well, we have 33 degrees. That's why the black Mason, who's the Prince Hall Mason, cannot go into any Scottish Rite or York Rite. There is the prejudice there. And for every brother that's listening to Mason, you're nothing but a joke. Because the reason being is, what they don't tell you, you are the secret. The Pope worships a black Madonna. They worship us as gods, and this is what they've been hiding. They didn't bring you in a slave ship. It is impossible. How are you going to put people in this as sardines? You get dysentery, black plague, it goes on and on. It is impossible. And they make you believe you come from Africa? The wealthiest man people on the planet were black people, melanated people. And I don't even like using that term, because that is a trade name in order to enslave you. So let's get back to the beginning. A child is born. You're in a for-profit hospital, a charitable hospital. When you sign a birth certificate, because remember, everything's contract. You just have to put on your thinking cap. They force you to take a birth certificate. When you did that, you just abandoned your child, gave the child to the state. He's now their property. So they think they can do anything to you. This is why their name is in all capitals. So that is a for-profit corporation. You go into a cemetery. Every cemetery, every stone has capital letters. They're a dead corpse. Everybody knows what a corp is. It's a dead corporation. Everything's done through fiction. Visa, MasterCard, the banks. Only a man can create credit because there is no money. Everything's done through signatures. So the country's backed by oil and the military. So when you see everything's a corporation, the Vatican is a parent corporation. You have a private side and a public side. You have a white pope and a black pope. The black pope is hidden. He's the one that runs the whole show with the Jesuits. This is all done through religion. You believe there's a man sitting in the sky watching you. This is why people and things will never change, because we don't take action. You keep waiting, you think Jesus is going to save you, Allah. It's incredible. A black man goes into an Arab store. They're in our neighborhoods everywhere. They don't live in our neighborhoods, but as soon as you get in there, they start following you. It's all divide and conquer. People need to unite and start thinking. They don't want you to learn business. You start setting up corporations. They don't want you to learn business. Once you start doing that, it's going to be difficult at first, but we can do it. We've built pyramids. It's not aliens. These are all the stories they tell me, but they have everyone chasing their tail. And there's so much that's going on right now. You can go on YouTube and put on future basic inventions. You see all the things that are going to come.
And so,
and they don't want you to enjoy that.
And not to cut you off again, Al. Not to cut your knowledge off again. Because on this show, we don't just give you information. We give you something to do. Something practical. Like, I can get up tomorrow and I can go contact my neighbor just right next door. And I can say, hey, let's do what? What can we do?
We need to start groups. We need to start pooling our money together, opening our own schools, being self-sufficient, supporting our own businesses. This is why they don't teach you. You go to a public school, they teach you to be brainwashed. So we have a pool. You set up basically a board. You have a CFO, you have a treasurer. We need to be organized. We did it before with Black Wall Street. That's why they got destroyed. Because we're very good at business. We have invented everything on this planet. This is nothing new. And what people need to realize, you're not going to die. It's the flesh. You will come back if you have to. But if you do what you have to do, you don't have to come back. Everybody can go in and watch and look on the YouTube for Savon Omar and start to learn what all these symbols mean. Because what's happening is the priest and basically the king were always involved, but they try to make church and state not separate. It's one thing. I'm breaking down the basics to basically explain this, because people are not understanding, and this is what continues to create this illusion. They're all illusions. Everything's a fiction. The court's a fiction. The bank's a fiction. So once again, they've been cheating us out of our birthright, and we have to start demanding that. The tax is supposed to go to us. We own the land. We were here first. We populated the entire planet. That's part of our history, and unfortunately, they don't teach that. This is the problem now. We need to claim that.
So what we need to do is we need to start planning with our neighbors.
Exactly.
And start in our local communities and develop an economic plan which encompasses our schools, our stores, our businesses, right? Our homes, our infrastructure, right in our local neighborhoods. Is that what you're saying?
And you know, yes.
All right.
And if you're going to, for example, you come to Everett Green Park, test it out. Have a bunch of people do it. Get 5 people in the car that are melanated and drive back on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and watch what happens. You will get pulled over because you're melanated. Well, you know what you need to do? People need to take to the streets. I told Farrakhan about this. They didn't do a damn thing. The Nation of Islam doesn't have a plan. So the point was, they didn't do anything. It's injustice. They pull you over. They ticket you. They tow your car. People go to pick up their car. It's at some guy's house, because the tow driver is in with the police station. So the point is, you don't frequent those places. They need us. We don't need them. They live off our energy. They live off our energy. They're constantly trying to ruin your credit, keep you in debt. We have solutions where we can clean your credit, but these are things we can't talk about. We know how to do this. We can teach all these people how to do this and start disputing this, because everything is done through identity theft. This is the problem. People are not educated on this. And remember, when they tell you something, even the judge that I had to tell the judge, my honor, may I remind you that everything you say can and will be held against you in the court of law. Now, if this court would like to reconsider, you have to give them a doorway. When you're in a court, everybody look it up. Every town you're in has an EIN number and a DUNS number. They're registered a DUNS number. So you're not in a court, you're in a corporation. So they don't know the difference between USA, U.S., the United States. They're all different for-profit corporations. You got to follow the money, and at the top is the parent company, which is the Vatican. The second one is the bar, which is the Queen. She handles bonds, everything. When you go in court, you're not claiming the bond. It has your name on it. Settle the matter. Demand it. It has your name on it. Everything's done through signature. You go to the hospital, they keep asking you for your social. Why? You have a trust there. And the private numbers on the other side. Call up the Social Security Department and ask them, is it true that you're not supposed to use a Social Security number for identification purposes? But they're playing the terrorist card, which people don't even know what ISIS is. ISIS is basically a secret organization, which is run by the Mossad. It's the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. There's ISIS. It's been exposed now. Now you all know. That is what ISIS is. It's not some Arabic thing. If you go back in history with the movies, we've always had an enemy. The Japanese, the Koreans, you name it. Now it's the Arabs. Soon it's going to be the Mexicans. Everybody's getting a turn. This whole country is based on prejudice because of people that are unmelanated. They're behind this all. They smile in your face. Meanwhile, you go anywhere you go, into any corporation, it's a white man running that business. How did this happen? People are not seeing it. Everywhere you go. And you got these little brothers that get a job, 50,000, 100,000, they protect it. So when you go down there, you go into the court system, you go into the county, you have all people of our color, these are the gatekeepers, that'll rip your head off. And it's unfortunate. This is the sad part. It's got the blood money. We don't use our heads. We're too busy arguing. So we need to set up groups. You need to start growing your own food. People need to come back together and unite. We can create everything. And that's the fear. They fear because they know we're waking up. And you got to monitor the stars because even before they launch any business, they do that. They monitor the stars. That's how our ancestors did it. We taught them. We taught them all this knowledge. That's the damn problem. There are a lot of ancestors holding us back, and now little by little it's getting out. That's the only reason I came on the call. Because I respect what you're doing, and you're trying to do something right. One of the few people that you can count on your hand.
Hey, we definitely appreciate you dropping by. Definitely. And Al, you're always more than welcome. You're always more than welcome. You have a lot of insight, right? And so
it's sad. It's sad because there's so much more that we need to learn.
No, and I totally agree. There is so many different things that we have no clue about that's happening on this planet. And what's happening is that they're destroying us locally by having these parasites come in and suck us dry. Right? And you have to think about this. They occupy our time. 20, 30 years. And then Jesse Jackson trains his son to do the same thing. Right?
Yes.
And he was doing the same thing. I mean, he's just using the campaign money just to buy things that he didn't even need.
Exactly.
Right? And so these things, these parasitic people, the reason why they're able to survive is because you don't have a plan. And when they come around, if you have a plan, you will quickly see what they have going on is not adding up to what your plan is. That's the reason for a plan.
You watch. What age are you for just out of the clear blue? Around what age are you?
I'm 37.
Okay, 37. And this should relate to you. You'll go back and you keep seeing the whole same movies, and you'll go back and you see other movies. They don't have one original idea. They keep running the same thing over and over. Right now, every phone call is basically being recorded. We just start discussing something in business, they take and steal it, and they go and create it. You think you have a copyright? All these rap artists, they go there, they sign a certain paper, the spelling, it's done on a certain paper, okay? And it was done on the skins of children. People don't want to understand it, they don't want to believe it. It's fine, because what they're doing, they're spelling. And this is why when an attorney or a doctor takes an oath, what did your grandmother always tell you? Don't swear. Don't do that, don't swear. And don't put our stuff in the public. Keep it private. So when they sign an oath, what a doctor is doing, he's practicing on you. This is when you go back in Germany, Dr. Mengele, Operation Paperclip. When the World War II ended, they took all those scientists because they had knowledge on rockets. They indoctrinated them all, brought them here. They've now basically went underground, they've creeped in, and these are the people that are doing this. They run everything out of Switzerland through banking. So they're trying now to get into the Middle East little by little, which they're doing. And what's going to happen? They tell you, oh, it's democracy, demon cross your Latin words, which is basically mob rule or demon rule. Well, what happens? This is supposed to be a Christian country. You're not supposed to be taxing people. But no one invokes that religion, even the Muslims. So what happens is they're going to go into the Middle East. Every time a child is birthed, they're going to give basically that birth certificate, welcome to freedom, and now you're going to pay tax, and you're going to have debt. They don't charge interest. They don't charge tax.
Just real quick, Al. I don't mean to cut your knowledge. Shout out to Ben, Deaf Ben. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget, family, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up or thumbs down. Doesn't really matter. However, don't forget to hit the bell, so that way you guys can continue to get notifications on the show. Go right ahead, Al.
So what's happening here, like I was stating, it starts at childbirth. So they force a birth certificate on you. Once the mother signs that, she now gave the child to the state. So now the state is a surrogate. This is how they can come in and take your children from you. Well, but before the age of 18, if you claim this and take them into probate court, you can claim your estate. We all have one. Because once again, they went bankrupt in 1933. You have something called HGR 192, which claims there's no money, so therefore you're supposed to pay with everything through signature. And that's why it's a credit-based system. So what do they do to every brother? Basically, they're getting you through the food, they're getting you basically in jail, or they're making you ill. Now you go into a hospital, they're trying to force surgery on you. What do? When you don't agree, you want a second opinion. Now they're bringing a psychiatrist in. Same thing they do in court. Because you're not agreeing, you're not consenting. Everything is done through consent, but they start pressuring you. So, by the grace of God, I've made it through several times and won many a court case. But when you remember, you must ask questions. That person up there is not a judge, it's a trustee. They place a bond. When there's two parties arguing, they place a bond or insurance. So when they're making claims here, like I ask questions, well, you're claiming there's a lawsuit, so-and-so claiming a lawsuit. Is that correct? For the record, on the record show, well, yes. Fine, did you collect on your insurance? The whole place went silent. Every corporation has a bond. As soon as you incorporate, that's what they tell you when you make more than $100,000, it's like an ATM machine, it pumps out a receipt. There's your bond. That's insurance. So you're going in there, and you're supposed to be able to pay everything through signature. So even at birth, this is why every time a child is born, it's heavy, because they give you your weight in gold. And they started investing in that. And it's done basically, it's considered abandoned funds. That's why when a parent dies, there's an estate. And because no one takes it or claims it, they put it in the newspaper. And that's how you file your stuff. You put it on there because that was a town crier. When it's not rebutted, then it becomes law. You have that in hand, you go in there, it is law. People need to learn the law because that's how they're getting everyone. So it's about learning business and learning law. It's that simple. And everything's been cured. And that's what's going on. And you cannot treat a melanated person the way they treat you. They give you synthetic drugs. They don't work. We know how to cure ourselves, but we depend on these people. This is the problem. You have to be self-sufficient.
But most people don't know how to be self-sufficient. I mean, really. So you have to understand we're dealing with a unique group of people here, right?
Yes.
Predominantly, you're dealing with the descendants of slaves. Predominantly, right? Which is the issue. Okay? This is the issue. With every president, this is the issue in every neighborhood, across America. I mean, Rahm Emanuel's son even got robbed a couple of times. Right? So, what we're dealing with is you have a unique group of people who have, since after slavery, right, the foot has always been on these people's necks. So this makes a very peculiar group of people. What would you say to that particular group of people who is the last group out of slavery here in this country? What would you say to that group?
What I would say to them, like I stated earlier, we need to really get the brightest minds we have, sit down. This needs to be explained to them in law. There are cures. We have to form groups. We have to go back to the family. The family's been destroyed. This is what happened to Aaron Russo, who showed you and exposed the IRS. Are you aware that anyone can go in there and find out that taxes are voluntary? The only people that are the only things that pay tax are corporations. That's been stated by senators. It was proved by Aaron Russo. Sherry Jackson, who was a sister, she couldn't find the IRS code. Why? Because it doesn't exist. And why is that? Nobody knows. Because the 16th Amendment was never ratified. A police officer stops you. You have the right under the Constitution, the fourth right. It's a contract. That's all it is. Fourth Amendment, which is basically the right to deny unreasonable search and seizures. Fifth Amendment. People start talking to them. When an officer pulls you over, license and registration, he's asking you for the contract. What people need to remember is you only answer to your Creator. He used to say, in God we trust. You go into a court and you swear on the Bible. They're still invoking that. It's on the money. So what's going on here is because you don't know these things and not learning law and not learning basically how to heal yourself in business, this is where we survive. By learning and teaching this to our children. And you know our children are. They're stubborn. They're smart. You teach them this. I've seen children that were 12 and 13 that could stand up to officers. They're so intelligent the way they're talking to them. The officers, he has no clue. He has no idea what they're saying, but they're quoting the law. This is not as hard as it seems to be. I would go in these courts, and I'm like, I'm going to learn this. They're talking some kind of language, and I would go back and sit there till I learned it, and then the bulb started going. I said, I know what they're doing now. And we figured it out. We cracked the code. So what we need to do is form groups, and basically we have to police ourselves, police our own neighborhoods. Everything can be beautiful again. They know that. They're on the run. They're on their last leg, whether people know it or not. They cannot go in the sun and take it. This is why you start seeing all these unmelanated people with all these blotches and red marks. It's energy, and it's our time. That's what's going on. We need to stop siding with each other. The violence must stop. You have all these tough guys in the street that'll kill a brother boy in the court. They're there like little girls. And I look at them and I'm like, look at this. It's unbelievable, incredible. They put their tail in between. They're like,
and so what you're saying is, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
I hate using the trade name black, but all melanated people need to man up. You have people like Jim Brown, Fred Williamson. Those were men. Okay, those were men. They stand up. Those were leaders. Even Jim Brown, he's still around today. Look at the good work he's done with gangbangers, the Crips and the Bloods. This is what I mean. If the Crips and the Bloods were to unite, there's more power than the police officers do. These are our streets, and we need to take them back.
But see, okay, so all right. So the Crips and the Bloods unite. Then what are they going to do?
We start working. We have basically a treasurer. We start contributing. Everything is to be accounted for. We start basically opening up businesses a little bit at a time. We frequent those businesses. We give back to the community. Little by little, we create jobs.
Now, what type of businesses? What are we going to be doing? Right. So you said we're going to open up businesses. What type of businesses we're going to?
For example.
And where are we going to get this money?
Everybody works. There's so many of us. If people were just to give $1 or $2, okay, if people were to give $1 or $2, if people are accountable, we can do these things. Look at all the grocery stores. Look at all the fast food stores, the gas stations. In some locations in Inglewood, you see, you don't have access to a grocery store. So they walk down and they come down, they're freezing, and they go into the gas station. What are they buying? They're buying Pepsi and Flaming Hots.
Now say that. Now that's very important that you would say that, because I'm from Inglewood. Okay, I'm from 60636 West Inglewood. Okay,
right.
Say exactly what you just said again about going down to the grocery stores or to the gas stations.
That sometimes you don't have access to a real store, so you go down to the gas station and to these little stores and with the Arab stores, and all you're buying is Flaming Hots and Pepsi. You're not getting any nutrition. And I want everybody to think. Everybody has access to a computer at one point or another. Grab some of those chips, grab your shaving cream, grab your products, all those names that you can't basically pronounce, put it in the computer, and then after that, put the dangers up. Watch what happens. This is what's happening. All these fast food drinks, Gatorade, Powerade, you see it'll say red number 3, something number 4, yellow number 6, they're dyes. They cause cancer. So they're giving you carcinogens. And this is why people aren't right in their mind. This is why people are going crazy. When you have mad cow disease, what were they doing? Simple. They were taking and grinding other cows and feeding it to other cows. What does that cause? Insanity. People that eat at McDonald's or eating at Burger King are eating human flesh. You don't want to believe it. They put it in the movies. It's there. There's a rabbi, and look at YouTube with him before, when he was letting you know. Yeah, we need shekels. We need shekels. When people disappear, children disappear on Halloween, they're satanic rituals. Now think about it. This is all about demons. They tell you this. It's all a lie. It's to keep you in fear.
Now, let me cut your knowledge off again, because I wanna let the family know exactly where I'm from, exactly who I am, and who I know. I grew up right down the street from Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose grew up on 73rd and Paulina. I'm from 70th and Paulina. We played basketball at Maury Park. I went to the same high school with two of his brothers. I played basketball with all of them. So I'm very familiar with their families. With his family knows my family. Now, he just told you something very important. You go into these stores, a lot of times there's no real food. There's only Flamin' Hots, soda. So when you're seeing Derrick Rose and he has bad bones, his bones are not developed, and he has knee problems and ankle problems and all of these problems, it's not because he just has a poor body. It's because he had a poor diet growing up. Excellent basketball player. Great person to be around. Go ahead.
This is very important. The water, when I was in Inglewood last, because I had a friend that visited, they gave me a glass of water. When I tasted that water, immediately my stomach cringed. It's like my skin, all the hairs went up. The water is very bad. The quality of the water, that's how they're doing it. There's lead, there's fluoride. Fluoride calcifies the pineal gland. Fluoride bends your bones. This is why when you see dogs, and like I'm looking at them and I ask people, okay, what's wrong? Oh, yes, they have problems. No, they're not prone to that. I said, what type of water are you feeding the dog? Oh, tap water. I said, that's why. I was supposed to get a knee replacement, tooth replacement. As soon as I changed that, what happened? Everything went away. It's the food and the water. Every can has BPA in it. So if you eat anything out of a can, you eat anything out of a box, it's preserved, it's dead food. Every can is lined with BPA. That's that green lighting, which is toxic to you. This is the problem. They're getting you through the food. And after a while, there's all these antennas that are around. You think they're for cell towers, but gee, all these calls keep dropping. No, they've tested out in Iraq and Iran when they had the war. So what happened? These cell towers, they start turning that volume, and they start irritating people. All of a sudden, they keep doing it. They can irritate you when you start fighting with everyone. This is all the technology they've been using on us and so forth. There's ways for everything they do. There's a yin and a yang. There's a counter. So getting back to that, that's what they're doing to you in those neighborhoods as well. You can't get any good quality food. You're eating chemicals. People have they should not be around chemicals. Chemicals, and people do not mix. It's not organic. You put an animal down, you put something which is a hybrid, which they call GMO, the dog or an animal go over and sniff it, you don't even go near it. It goes to the organic food. All organic is a fancy name. Your great-grandfather was strong as a bull. Why? They don't want vitamins and the dirt. You grew your own food, so now they label it organic, and what they do now is basically they make it like it's something like marketing. It's organic.
So let me cut you off. So let me cut you off right there, because you are right, Ben. GMOs are poisons. Now, Chicago was very unique about the city of Chicago, family. If you are from Chicago, or if you are not from Chicago and you know someone from Chicago, and or if you are in a neighborhood that is being gentrified, or if your neighborhood right now is being overrun by crime, if there's crack houses everywhere, if there is no jobs, right? Everyone's hanging out. That is an area that is ripe for gentrification. Here's the reason why. In Chicago, what most people don't know is the reason why there's no grocery stores around is because the white people that used to live, especially in Inglewood, the whites that used to live there before white flight, they planted all of their food. So they didn't need grocery stores to supply groceries, or what you call produce. They planted their food in the backyard.
Right.
So that's why there's no like Walmarts. There is not a Walmart or a Target or any of those type of stores that is in 60636. I'm going to say this again. You won't find a Denny's. You won't find an IHOP. You won't find any of those type of stores inside of 60636. I think on
And there was
69th, on 69th and on 71st and Ashland, I believe that there is a Save-A-Lot. However, if you are not planting your food anymore, which they make sure you don't have the time to plant your food anymore.
But what do you find? A CVS, a Walmart, just about every 2 miles.
Every 2 miles.
Every 2 miles.
A liquor store.
And then exactly. And then what you don't, when no one's speaking about, they start talking gluten. Here's the secret. I want everybody who's listening, go into the grocery store today. Monsanto grows the wheat. It's no longer 6 feet. So basically, you're going to buy these products that contain wheat. They're telling you wheat is good for you, and that wheat is the one that basically gives you a leaky gut because the wheat starts to puncture holes in your stomach. So therefore, your bowels, everything's flowing through, and that's how you get diseases. But what everybody doesn't realize, watch, go pick up the pumpernickel bread. Read it. What does it say? Basically, wheat flour, bleach, process. You think every bread that you're buying is different? They're all the same. They all contain soy. You give soy to little boys, to women. You give soy. It's just and then you have what you have basically, for example, you're giving soy. It's in the protein for bodybuilders. It's in vitamins. It's in cakes, all sweets. When you're giving that soy to little boys, it produces estrogen. You're feminizing them. This is what's going on. So now they start to change even your gender. Don't people see what's going on? No one questions it. When you see someone that's heavy and they have a stomach, there's a certain thing you look on YouTube and study Patrick Bell's. It's something that comes down. It's something in your test. It comes down. What's happening is you're eating red meat. I want everybody to do this test, 2 tests. You're going to get a bowl of red meat. You're going to put it on the counter. You're going to come back in a few hours. Then tell me what you're going to find. You are going to find parasites. So when you're eating red meat, pork especially, pork is human flesh because what they've done is that's how they can put a pig's heart into a human. They've been crossing DNA for a long time. This is what we did thousands of years ago. We experimented with things. We know the science, but it's been hidden. So getting back to the soy, what happens as you consume soy is in just about every product. That's the enemy is the soy, the fluoride. So when women consume too much soy, they overproduce estrogen, breast and uterine cancer. These phones that we're on right now are going up. They're going to be like so cancerous, it's a joke. The doctors and scientists that were trying to bring it up were being threatened. Over 200 doctors were killed. People that were hematopaths, they were basically curing people with herbs. They don't want you to have that because they cannot make a profit. It's $1 trillion business. You go in there and start following the money and you start seeing what they're doing. You don't need anything that's aesthetic in your body. This is how it's being done on such a level. Food, when the white folks, they had a bad batch one time, I can't remember the incident, they went to a McDonald's. All of a sudden they started getting sick. Quick. They had to run to get that out of that white neighborhood. Everything's labeled. Everything comes from one factory. Subway, I'm from Brooklyn. They laughed at him when he started. Look at him now. Then he sold out. All that stuff. Oh, sir, you want this heated? They put it in a microwave. You never microwave your food. You're eating radiated food. If you have a microwave in your house, get rid of it. Don't eat out of cans because of the PBA, because it's leaching in, and that's preserved. It's dead food. It has no nutrition. They teach you to cook your food. You're supposed to be eating raw food. You have neurons in the brain, they run off what? Basically, neurons, electricity. You get a heart attack, they hit you with a defibrillator, electricity. You need to eat raw food, electrical food. We're not used to it. We go down, you're from Inglewood, you go down to maybe, 115th. You have a barbecue place that you can smell them, that one's by close to Halstead. You smell that everywhere. When they're barbecuing that stuff and you overdo it and overcook it and people like it like that, those have carcinogens. They give you cancer. So getting back to what I'm saying, when the stomach is protruding, it's not, those are the people that are starving. It's the opposite. They've taught you everything in the opposite direction. So when your stomach is protruding like that and you have a gut, you have about 9 to maybe 25 pounds of red meat stuck in your bowels. Your intestines are about 30 feet. So what's happening, you constantly have 5 to 10 pounds of red meat sitting in your bowels causing you damage. And this is why you don't eat those things. We were never meant to be eating animals. That's part of the curse. Now, people continue to do this, and this is why when you're eating McDonald's, Subway, Burger King, you're eating human flesh, and this is the state of mind they're at. People these days are insane. They don't pay attention. And they're getting you with these cell phones. They're getting you with these cell towers. This is what's going on. It's a spiritual war. There's no devil. It's a lie. It's a total lie. This is why oh, let them strike me dead. Oh, will the phone drop or something? There's a man up in the sky, and this is the illusion that's watching you. This is the game they've been playing on people. It is a belief, and we will kill people for that belief. People need to start invoking common sense. We're stuck on belief, and we keep waiting for someone to save us. If I would do a webinar, people would come up on the stage and have a little box. And I said, look in the box, and it's a secret. Because that's the person, basically, that you're waiting for. But they're not going to know what's in that box, and I won't reveal it either. So the point is, that's where the answer is, right there in that little box. And people, when they open it, they'll see it. It's that simple. The person you're waiting for is you. People need to get off their ass, and we need to organize. This is what it is. We got the best minds. We have the best artists. We create the music. We create the fashion. Come on. Everybody knows that. We create everything. Remember, you hear James Brown say, say it loud. You never heard that man play that.
I'm black and I'm proud.
He would never say that. And why? Because he knew. Black, the label black is a trade name, and that's a slave name. If you're black, Negro, and colored, you're slaves. You're an indigenous to the land, and you own this land. And because we're not claiming our birthright, this is what's going on. All that money that goes out, look up CAFRA funds. They're claiming to be broke. They're not broke. There's millions of dollars, billions of dollars in those CAFRA funds. And that's what they're stealing. Because they love cash. This is what's going on. These white people live off our energy. They have no souls because they don't have melanins. And they hate us for it. They hate us for it because they want to be us. This is the problem. And what do? They make people hate each other. The people of color hate each other. This is the sad part. There's beautiful black people out there. There's beautiful melanated people. That's what the beauty is. And look, we got our sisters dyeing their hair black. That dye poisons you. The Jamaican women, they take and bleach their skin, just like Sammy Sosa did, because those are the ones that get the jobs. This is the problem. It's marketing. They're hitting you with propaganda. They control the TV stations, the music, the radio. You hear commercials about the IRS trending you? Fine. Here. Like we did to the agents here, right here. There was 2 agents here, some federal agents. Would you sign this, please? I want a winning signature affidavit from you. The 16th Amendment was ever ratified. The taxes are not voluntary. They told me everything looks in order here. They got up and left. When you know this knowledge, that's what knowledge is power. And they're dumbing people down to that fluoride. Hitler used it. Stalin used it. Fluoride is what's in rat poison. Not only want anybody to believe a goddamn thing I tell them. Go do the research. You'll find it. And this is what it is. People need to learn this stuff.
Well, here's what we want to do, family. Here's what we want to do. We actually want to use that knowledge. Don't just have it. Because when you just have it, this is how you continue to open up yourself to people like Boyce Watkins, Jesse Jackson, Tariq Nasheed, Umar Johnson, Tommy Sotomayor, Steve Harvey, Farrakhan.
Right.
Use your knowledge. Use it. Do something.
I do it every day. I do it every day. And you try to tell people, and there is such fear, and that's why they need go on there, study Savant Beaumont, and learn. Learn the symbols, learn everything, and you'll see their hocus pocus. It's all a bunch of baloney, but you learn because people never knew how to read. It was all done through symbols. Once you learn that, and you start understanding what these things mean, you start to become more relaxed. Don't fear the flesh. You have a soul. They do not. You will come back if you want to. That is your choice. But it depends on what you do on this planet.
And
it's
it all depends.
War.
That's right, family. And so what we just have to do, reach out to your neighbor. Reach out to your neighbor. I say 6 people. You only need about 6 people. Maybe an hour or so a day. And you work on your planning. Right? You work on your planning. And you'll be amazed at what you'll have in a year. You'll be amazed. Just right where you are. Pick a mile within 1 mile radius of your house and identify some things and start making some plans. Great positive plans, and I'm pretty sure that everything will work out. Al, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give you your final thoughts so we can go ahead and get out of here.
When it comes to your food, do not eat anything that does not have a seed. Avoid that round-headed lettuce. That is plastic. It's fake. Go with the romaine. When you go in there, you're paying for organic. Notice that the water that they spring on comes from the tap water. You need to alkaline your food. Put lemon in your water. Make sure that the lemons have seeds. Anything that does not have a lemon, we consume watermelons like they're going out of style. Do not consume that watermelon that does not have seeds. That is a hybrid. It causes tumors and cancer. You need to get back to natural food. start fasting one day out of the week, then increase it to 2. Watch the energy you get. Watch how fantastic you went. You're constantly polluting your body with all these toxins. When you allow it to rest and just drink distilled water, clean water, or distill your own water, you will start feeling much better. The tap water has to go. You have to start eating natural food, and you have to learn how to clean it. You can get this information on the internet. If you all start digging, you'll find it.
Thank you very much, Al. Ben,
My pleasure.
Ben, I really appreciate your comment. All right, but we have to be respectful because we do want to stay on the air. You have to keep in mind we are using their system. Okay, we are using their system. All right, so I do appreciate. I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you guys' messages. I really do appreciate everything that you guys are throwing in here at me, right? Family, we are about to get out of here. If you have any comments, if you want to be heard, call me. The number is right on the bottom of the screen. Give me a call. This is not just entertainment. This is not just entertainment. What we are doing, this is the doing show. Right? This is the doing show. Give us a call, 972-855-8851. 972-855-8851. If you want to be heard. Ben, if you want to get on, give me a call. No problem. All right, Derek, if you're still out there, I appreciate you giving us a call. If you want to give us a call back, you definitely are welcome to. But as it stands right now, you guys are hearing the Boyce Watkins of the world, the Tariq Nasheeds of the world, the Umar Johnsons, Sotomayors, the Harveys. All of these people are sucking the lifeblood out of you. And as Al was saying so eloquently, your food is killing you, your water is killing you, your government is killing you, people are hurting you. You can't even go to the store and get a decent head of lettuce anymore. So if that's the case, do something about it in terms of planning. Do not go out and hurt each other. Doesn't make much sense. Start planning right where you are. Get together, knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, your food tastes bad, I'm sure. How about we make a plan to get out of it? Don't just plan to go out and just spend it and have a good time, because then you'll be what you call wasting your life. All right, family? So, hey, I love you guys. We are going to wrap up the show right now. Always, you know, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit that little bell so then that way you guys will be notified, you know, when we come back on the air. Let me know what's a good time to catch up with you guys. So that way we can make sure that we have a good time for everyone to tap into the show, because we are going to be moving into the doing phase and we don't want to leave anyone behind. So yes, we are going to teach you how to make an economic plan. On this show, we will teach you how to write a proposal. On this show, we will teach you how to write a business plan. On this show. But don't buy into the fact that you're going to need a business in order to make it. Because there's a such thing called passive income. There's a such thing called passive income that we will teach you how to generate. Hey Ben, man, I love you too. I love you too. And so what we want to do, and I love you all, family. I love everyone out there who's listening. Believe me, there is a way to make your life better. You are not a product of the area that you grew up in. You can actually do something for yourself. The first thing that we need you to do is to knock on your neighbor's doors and say, hey, you got the internet? Please subscribe. But what we're going to do is we're going to learn how to create an economic development plan, and we're going to outline some of the places in our neighborhoods and our communities that we want to revitalize. Keep that word in your mind, in your vocabulary. Revitalize. So that we're not confused, and that we're all on the same page here. We're going to make sure that we have the right words here. According to the Webster Dictionary, revitalize. Now, this is not for some who don't know what the word means, but this is for those who don't know what the word means, so that way we can make sure that everyone is following along. Revitalize, to give new life or vigor to. So what around you do you want to give new life or vigor to? What is it? Is it the vacant lot that's next to your house? Is it your house? Is it the business that's down the street? Is it the school that's around the corner? Is it the people that's in your neighborhood? Listen, stop sitting back and complaining. Adults, I am not going to give you oh, well, it's the kids in our neighborhood. You know, they're gangbangers. They're shooting up each other. The kids don't have anything to do. It's you, adults, who didn't plan for them to have anything to do. I don't want to preach at you. I am going to tear into you some, because it's up to you to give these young people something to do. You are planning for them to fail, not the schools. The schools is a reflection of the community. And if you don't have any plans for the school, then how can you plan for the children to be productive when it's time for them to come out of there? You have to show the kids something different. But I'm not just going to preach at you. I'm going to show you how. I am going to show you exactly how to revitalize your children. I am going to show you exactly how to make where you are better. All you have to do is participate. An hour a day. Now, many people don't like white people, but white people spend 24 hours a day revitalizing, planning. White people, they revitalize, but they also plan on whatever it is that they have. They plan on the schools deteriorating, and then they plan on what they're going to do to revitalize the schools once it deteriorates, and they continue to go down this process. They are master planners. The thing is that black people are keeping black people from planning. That's parasitic behavior. It's time to toss that behavior up in the air and shoot it with a shotgun. Don't shoot the people with a shotgun, people. Shoot the behavior. Family, this is Terrence Massey. I love you guys. I'm about to get out of here. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Share this with your friends. Don't share it for me. Share it for yourselves. Because there is homework to do. On this show, we have talked about Atlanta. Atlanta is a place where, you know, it's Chocolate City, Atlanta. Right? White people right now is using Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia as a case study for what black people can do if, with their economy, if they are supported by whites. Now, I can almost guarantee you that none of these buildings are being owned by black people. Right? But if black people are in charge of their own economies, what can they do? That's the state of Atlanta. Atlanta, if you're listening, which I hope you are, you guys are being examined like lab rats right now. I know because I've ran into people who are studying you in college right now. Well, let's see, Ben. And I would love for you to call in. I would actually love for you to call in, because when you say, let's take our land back, when you actually say that, I want to know, what exactly do you mean? Let's take our land back. And if so, how do we do it? See, now I want to know what your plan is. See, Ben, what happens is that a lot of times we make statements like that, and our women hear us saying these things. And then our women come up with things in their head, and they say, yeah, you say that. Yeah, you say let's take our, you talk a good game. But that's all you got is a bunch of hot air, Boyce Watkins, Umar Johnson. That's all you got. And so because you can't take your land back from that cracker over there, because you can't take the land back from a white man, now you're going to want to fight each other. Okay, Ben, let me know when there's a time when you're not working. You call into the show, but I do appreciate you listening while you're at work. I do believe that. But keep in mind that this cracker, there's something psychologically going on between you and him. And there's a reason why that there have been plenty of black males who come through saying the same rhetoric with no plan. These people in all of these various city functions, they have the planning, the board of planning, the department of planning, the department of urban development. They have all of these different departments, and only thing that they do is plan and execute on what they plan. So they say, okay, here's the plan. Here's what we're going to produce. Let's execute it. It's so simple, black people haven't been able to figure it out. Most of you right now are planning on listening to something other than this because you like complaining. Well, get up. I'm not going to tell you to wake up. I'm going to tell you to get up and start moving in the direction that your children would love for you to move in. Hey, salute to you, Ben. Salute to you. I'm here with you. I'm here with you. Salute to you. Big ups to you. Thank you for being concerned, though. Thank you for being concerned. But we need a lot more than that. We need production, 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 production. And we will get that production. We will gain that productivity. It's only a matter of time before we get there. The fact of the matter is that we have to stop hanging out with non-productive people. Boyce Watkins is non-productive. Tommy Sotomayor, non-productive. Umar Johnson, non-productive. And they may say, we are productive. Tariq Nasheed, non-productive. They may say, we are productive. Look at what we gave you. A bunch of knowledge. Well, we gave you the knowledge of self. About what? About what? Nothing of importance. Okay, so you give me this knowledge about myself, right? How does this apply to me right now? Is the question that we need to be holding them at that standard right now. How does this help the crack house across the street from me? How does this help the vacant house down the street from me? Please, help me acquire this place right now. The man around the corner, only thing he sells is liquor. So what you're going to do is keep going past the liquor store. Keep going past the liquor store. Until you learn. All right. Instead of me complaining about it, let me put my foot down about it. It's your neighborhood. This is your planet as well. You live here, right alongside me. This is our planet. Contact me if you want to do something about it. Let me know. Because we are the doers on this planet. So if you're a doer, let me know. Now, there have been people, and I'm going to shout you out again, Derek, who says we can't get 6 people in our neighborhood. He said you can't get 6 people. I challenge anyone who's listening to this, because I'm sure that once we start getting into Dr. Umar Johnson, which is going to be tomorrow roughly about 8 o'clock, we're going to get into Dr. Umar Johnson. And on that show, what we're going to be talking about is 6 people in Philly coming up with an economic plan within 1 mile radius of your home. Derek said he's in Philly and that you won't find 6 people. I challenge him on that because I am an optimist. I think in Philly I could find 6 people to get involved. If you're in Chicago and you're listening to this, 6 people. You know what? We're going to stop with all of the 6s because I know some people are superstitious about it. Give me 5 or 7 people. 5 people or 7 people to come up with an economic plan for your area. See, not only won't you become millionaires, but the people around you become millionaires as well. Because that is what planning do. Or does. Depending on your English. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not here for your entertainment. I don't know if I'm that funny. I don't know if I'm that witty. But I tell you this. It's time that we stop messing around here for our children. Boyce Watkins, Parasite. Umar Johnson, Parasite. These people are parasites. Once you start planning, then you'll start saying, well, wait a second, it's time to vote. Are these people that we're going to vote for, do they align with our business plan and what matters for us in our neighborhood? Then you can decide what money you're going to toss behind the candidate. And then if the constituent or, if they don't do what's good for you, if who you're voting for don't do right by your plan, I'm sure he won't be there in 4 years or 2 years or whatever. That's how the game goes. Listen, people, I am going to make your lives better, but help me help you. And I'm not going to sell you a thing. I'm not going to sell you anything. Because I don't need you to pay me money to speak. I haven't gotten any money for speaking, and I don't need any money for speaking. What I need you guys to do is to take care of your business because I have a 6-year-old. And I don't want my 6-year-old son to be 30 years from now saying, Pop, why didn't you plan? I mean, it's so easy to do. Family, I love you. If you believe in God, God bless you. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we will definitely be talking about Dr. Umar Johnson and how he is just, wow. Don't support the parasitic behavior. Good night, family.